You've reached call in Mockery.
I must have the wrong number.
I'll call you back.
Landon,
Yeah.
I wanted to thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you. No, I really appreciate this time.
It's Colin Mockery, of course, our podcast, Colin Mockery.
Of course.
And I did have I had a couple requests for you. Okay.
Okay.
Please just lean back a little, relax, get ready for the show. Kind of be cool. And then also, if you could, and so if you could just also.
And suck my tongue.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I'll be doing that today.
Okay.
Just not today.
Oh, that's all I got.
Well, I've been exposed.
To what? Oh, let me guess. Library books.
No.
You've been exposed to a lot of library. Now I've got it. Did you hear me cough?
So the guy's sucking on his tongue. He wants you to do it too. And all these people, you come to find, we're living in the age of information. We come to find everyone that anyone has ever looked up to is a stinker.
Well, I'm kind of, he did say, I didn't mean it that way.
Yeah, I mean, of course, when the whole world looks at you and says, what? You have to say, no, I was joking. That's what we do.
Yeah. And so far it's worked out. We don't have, kind of like, how a couple years ago we had Bob Hope.
Oh,
we had Steve Jobs, and we had,
Joe Biden.
Well, now we have Joe Biden. I'm saying before we had
Bob Hope.
We had Steve Jobs,
Regis,
and we had. Well, now we've got no Hope, no Jobs, and
Phil in the blank.
Fill in the
blank, exactly.
And don't say Shrek. Don't say years ago we had Bob Hope, Steve Jobs, and Shrek, and now we've got no Hope, no Jobs, and no Shrek.
Well, because I think we do have a Shrek on the way, don't we? Mike Myers is like, well, everything else I do sucks now, so I guess I'll go back to doing Shrek.
I guess I'm ready.
You're telling me they made a new Puss in Boots movie that's actually quite artistic and good?
They didn't ask me to do a little cameo.
Just do Austin Powers 4. What do you... Do it. Stop doing commercials with Dana Carvey, the most annoying man in comedy.
If you did one...
The two most annoying men in comedy. One refuses to be funny anymore, and the other refuses to stop trying to be funny.
And
I love them both.
Yeah. If my parents were Austin Powers and they'd say, well, we stopped to raise you, I'd say, okay, well, I'm good now. Like...
I'm 20.
Yeah, I'll come visit you on set or whatever, but why don't you go do that thing you like to do? We got no Hope, no Jobs, and no Oneders. Landon,
yes.
Is it true that coffee should be
non-woke?
hot as...
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
I did read something this weekend, and we do not like to wade into politics too much. But I read that a local gas station company, convenience store company called Come and Go, is being bought out by a larger gas station company out of Texas. And so I opened up the woke. This is true.
Yeah.
Woke are baby killers.
Yeah.
There's also a Bible verse on
John
there,
14.6,
which I would assume is about coffee.
Yeah.
If it's on a bag of coffee.
I'll throw this up on the screen. We're
you.
just looking at a non-woke coffee for folks who are sick and tired of woke crap from Stone Roastery, it's here, non-woke coffee, woke are baby killers, people pushing their agendas on people who don't want them. People who spend more, and I can't see the rest of it.
He's not going to read the rest of it.
John 14.6.
So the name of the roast is non-woke.
Yeah, it's the non-woke.
I think that's good.
And you know what's sick? Coffee.
Yeah, it's acidic. But this gas station company,
Yeah, go
about
ahead.
this other gas station company.
Come and Go got bought by...
And I was looking at the comments because there's a lot of comments, and I'm like, why do people care? And the first comment is some guy that said, hopefully they don't go woke. Which I was worried about too, because I was like, oh crap, like am I not gonna be able to go to Come and Go now to like go to the bathroom?
Right.
If I walk in there and they're like,
they're going to try to make me read Fun Home when I go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, ever heard of the Bechdel test? Well, here's the freaking book by the lady that came up with that, I think.
hey, thanks for stopping in. Hey, you got any kids under 12? I got this book about masturbation that I'm trying to hand out to them.
You're like, oh, with this crap again?
With this-
Are you
I'm-
serious?
Yeah.
I'm going to go make my 6-year-old daughter dress up in makeup in a tiny dress and parade her around so that she wins a beauty contest. Because I'm not sick like you are.
And I'm not going to call it Come and Go anymore. I'm going to call it Gone and Stay Gone. Okay?
And then I'm going to go to the church that has the
You know the real problem with these gas stations? They're mid. I like big gas stations. I like gas stations that aren't losers.
I like Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's. It's in
Buc-ee's
Texas.
is in Texas. It's huge. It's huge.
Expanding to Nashville. Expanding to
If
Nashville.
you've got a Bucky shirt on, I know you're in a band. I know you're in a traveling band because you've got the shirt and the hat. Okay?
You went to Buc-ee's. You did. I know you did. No one gifts someone a thing from Buc-ee's.
You know, if you haven't gone to Bucky's,
Constantly redlining. Now we sound like a podcast I was listening to the other day. Now we really sound like a podcast I was listening to the other day. Oh, yeah.
I just want to say this. Now that the shows are shorter now, we're not holding back.
No, we get to you know how when it used to be an hour, the first 30 minutes was boring as hell?
What am I going to do? The first thing we do is bring up the Dalai Lama tongue sucking?
No, first we come up with like, oh, I was thinking of a joke that I could do. I haven't thought of it yet, but here's I'll tell you the premise, and then we'll talk about that for 30 minutes.
Because we got time to get to it.
Yeah.
And you either figure it out or you don't.
Right, but now we're getting right to the good stuff. Buc-ee's.
I do want to talk about something that's been changing my kind of worldview recently is the fact that now that there is a place called Hertz Donut, I can no longer, it's not, when I ask people, do you want a Hertz Donut? And they say, yes. I say, whoosh.
Yeah.
And I say, Hertz Donut. And they go, what?
All
Because
right.
they're expecting that I bought them a donut. They've got the Jesus. They've got the Cookie Monster. They've got the cookies and cream. They've got the peanut butter and jelly. They've got the Homer Simpson. They've got the...
What's the blueberry with like the crumble on top? It's like a crumbly.
Oh, you're talking about the Adam Sandler movie, The Cobbler.
Yeah.
So a lot has happened this week, and we wanted to get to it right away.
Yeah. Guy wants you to suck his tongue. Look, you can't do stuff like that.
Now suck my tongue. And then he kind of goes, did you watch the video?
Yeah, I saw part of it.
Okay.
I don't, yeah.
And then, but then everyone loves it. Everyone there is cracking ass
The
up.
crowd goes wild because, well, they know Mr. Llama is just funny. He's just kind of joking with anyone any and all comers. He'll be.
I feel like I would, if I was the Dalai Lama and every day I had to sit there and there's like another kid wants to come up and give you a kiss on the cheek. Another kid wants to come up and hug you. And it's like, I'm not, what am I? Just because I what? What is the Dalai Lama? You know? And then
He does good quotes.
And so then then the next kid comes up and you go, and you know what else? And you know what? And suck my tongue. Like just to see.
Just to see how far you can. Now, that's the trouble, though, because
Too far.
too far. And you got to start a little smaller than that.
Yeah.
If you are joking, you're like, okay, kiss your cheek. There's 8 million kids that want to come kiss your cheek, I guess. You're like, maybe start with like, suck something. I'm like
maybe not even that much.
no.
Maybe just
like a
and
smell
what-
my finger
or and then
pull
what
my
it-
finger. That's it. That would be funny. He's like kiss him on the cheek, and he's like, and now pull my finger.
he
And then
just rips ass.
Yeah, and his little cape flies up.
Okay, I was thinking more like he's like, "Now tell me what you want for Christmas,"
That would be funny.
because they're sitting on his lap, and then as they're trying to tell him, so I say to you, and then tell me what you want for Christmas.
Yeah.
And then you're the little
And then
kid.
he's like, to suck your tongue. See, that's you trick the kid into sucking your tongue.
Yeah, he asked for it. That's the kind of stuff the Dalai Lama is trying to do.
Well, because he's red pilled.
Yeah,
The Dalai Lama goes to the Andrew Tate school of red pilling your ass so that you manipulate a woman into thinking she wants to be with a bad person.
I've always said this. I take both. If Morpheus comes to my door and he says red pill, blue pill, I'm like, red pill, blue pill, 1 pill, 2 pill. And I pop them both in, swill it around with some day old vodka, and then, and lean back, and lean back, and lean back. You know what I'm talking about? And then my brain just splits in half.
You take it for the ride, man.
Because I'm like, actually, people like that I take control in a relationship. And then, of course, if you're a freaking blue pillar, then you're like, I think people are equal. And your brain can't contend with itself.
Your brain, yeah. And then you start seeing visions of like a utopia. It's like it's like what a high schooler or like a 40-year-old who's never done anything in their life thinks smoking weed for the first time feels like. You start seeing visions of a utopia and like dancing gumballs and stuff. And you're like,
Yeah, the classic pink elephants that come from, smoking marijuana. That sort of stuff. Everything's upside down, ass backwards, inside out, right? You're like, you're basically like, that's, and so there's all these sorts of things that are like, for, and Pirates of the Caribbean.
And I've never done a drug.
No, and you're not gonna catch me doing one. Okay? Whoa, did you hear that? I thought the feds were coming. Sorry, I'm a little paranoid. I had a little too much sticky bun this morning. Okay? It's what happens. You have a little too much sticky bun, you get a little sugar rush, and you're like, are they coming after me?
And then you get the munchies.
Yeah. Oh, what's your favorite munchie?
The tiny Dorito. It's like, you made mini ones just for that. You could throw a regular size one. You didn't have to make a whole other conveyor belt to make tiny Doritos.
Yeah. It was kind of like how they had to make a new, they're like, oh, you guys like every once in a while when you get one Cheez-It that's a little crispier than the others. How about we make you sick of them? How about we show you how not special they are? We're going to make a new conveyor belt, turn this one up by 10 degrees. All your Cheez-Its are going to be burnt to shit. Extra toasty, baby. Hope you like them. Right? And they come down that line. You can smell it. It's like burnt hair coming out of the Cheez-It factory. The big Sunshine Bakery guy in the front's like, please kill me.
and then it's also like Gardetto's when they make the brown circle.
And they pretend like they're in short supply.
Yeah, they're like,
guess what? The brown circles are back.
Even though because they do just sell them as just
the brown circle. You want me to just eat the bag of rye chips?
And it is the best, but when you take it out of the equation of the rest of the little fat pretzel with the sesame seeds, the long pretzel with no sesame seeds,
the squiggly one,
all of that together, perfection.
Because then once in a while you go, oh, you get that one, but then it's like, you know what? I need a couple of the squigglies.
Yeah, you're like, because you're like, Jesus, my breath smells like absolute donkey.
Well, then you're making it worse because it's just all powdered garlic.
Yeah. But then the big brown chip, that's the real stink bomb. You throw that in your mouth, and you're on your first date. That's what's crazy. You take your significant other. This is the first time you go to Buc-ee's. You grab a Gardetto's bag to go to a picnic at Lover's Point. and you're eating the Gardettos at Lover's Point together. I don't know. I don't think anyone's sucking your tongue
No.
on that date.
It's either that or, you just got to class. It's early in the morning. You didn't get breakfast. You stop by the vending machine. First thing you put in your mouth, you're like, I forgot to brush my teeth. Oh, well, I'll just get a bag of only brown rounds from Gardetto's. And then just next to me in class,
Yeah.
hey, do you have a pencil?
Yeah.
And you're just ringing I'm just sitting there flustered, right? Because I'm like, this is the kind of person that I would take to Lover's Point.
And then you both have bags of Gardettos. You both have breath that smells like dunk. And then you suck tongues.
Now suck my tongue. That's what you say to your date. And they go, that's kind of a thing you can do now because you can be like, if they go, what?
Yeah.
You go, oh, like the Dalai Lama.
Yeah,
it was just
I
a
was
joke.
only kidding.
They go, because you go, oh, would you like a hug? That's the first date. I think the first date went well.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to head in. I could come in with you. No, that's okay. Well, how about you suck my tongue?
Yeah.
Excuse me? Oh,
No. Just a reference to the Dalai Lama.
Yeah.
From 30 years ago.
You're really hot.
This is
What?
the year 2053.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Well, I have to go soon then.
This scenario, is in the future.
This is like one of those sketches they do on TV, on Mad TV.
Yeah. Stuart is from the future.
Yeah, Steward of the future. He's like,
Is anyone out there? I'm feeling good about this.
if you like this, go ahead and let us know because it feels
I'm
like
feeling really good.
It's like I'm speaking into a vacuum, It's like when I'm looking in the little.
I knew a kid that said that he did that in elementary school.
Did he finish? Steward of the future would probably have the Cyclops glasses on, of like the guy from Star Trek.
Yeah.
He'd be like, Captain, watch this.
Yeah.
And he jumps up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much in
Life was easier back then.
Yeah, you could just do one thing.
And now if you do that, guess what you do? Well, that guy's not actually 12, so he's canceled. Well, he's not actually a little pale-faced boy with shorts on. Canceled. Sorry, I prefer my Mad TV to be non-woke.
Yeah. Or you come on, you start a podcast with your friend, and then every week get mad at how unoriginal the sketches are nowadays.
Yeah. It's crazy that you could do that.
People do that. Well, I don't know what kind of sick freaks would do that.
No, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
People that know that comedy is an extremely hard... people think comedy is easy because everyone thinks they're funny.
Right.
For some reason. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
We try to do comedy all the time.
And I mean, you can tell how well that's going.
Yeah.
Except sometimes people just come up to us and are like, you guys, you changed everything for me.
Yeah. People do that.
And we're like, what? But you're older than us. I mean, how did we change everything for you? We're fans of you.
Yeah.
And he's like, and this is Rudy Giuliani.
Yeah.
And he's like, boys.
Hey, did you watch anything this week?
Hey, did you watch anything this week? Yes, I did. And I wanted to tell you because you're going to be like, oh, goody. I watched a 3-hour movie. Babylon. What the hell's that? It's an elephant. Oh, help me. I'm Flea.
He's not an actor.
No.
Why does he keep being in stuff?
And yet,
he's good.
Better in this than he was in Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Well, yeah, of course.
I mean, no one in that little...
I was going to say, I think Damien Chazelle might be a little better at directing.
Yeah.
Not to take anything away from...
But still, why...
What's her name over on Obi-Wan? But
you think he's offer only, Flea? Or you think Damien Chazelle's like, you know who's got the look?
You know who I want? The ugliest chili pepper.
Go blibby down, zone dibby blibby down, dib zone dibby zone dibby dibby down, living in
Did you like it?
San Diego. Yeah.
Do you think, like me, that it was one of the best movies you've seen in the last decade?
It was good.
Yeah.
Um,
I know it's a strong stance for me to take, but it blew me away. In
maybe
a way.
if that's the stance maybe if I didn't know that was your stance,
Yeah,
because
you
now I
probably
have to
would've
be
liked
a
it.
little.
Yeah, you have to be mean to me
Yeah.
now.
But no, it was. There was at one point where I paused it and I was less than 2 hours in, and I was like, "There's an hour and a half left of this," which I was fine with. Like you mentioned, I want to be there. It took me a while. I was trying to figure out what the vibe of this movie was.
Yeah, well,
because you go, "What the." It is just it's a comedy.
yeah, it's funny.
Because when you get there, I'm like, okay, they're having the party. Also,
Although I don't know how you didn't know that when the first frame of the movie basically is a guy getting shat on by an elephant.
well, no, that's why I went, okay, that's not what I thought.
Yeah.
And then you go to the Hollywood party, and you're like, this is crazy, right? And then you've got some of the funniest little things going on.
So good.
But everyone always talks about, like, God, oh my God. They'll kind of make a joke about Eyes Wide Shut. They go, yeah, the movie's like Eyes Wide Shut. This thing is insane.
Eyes Wide Shut is kind of boring.
It's nothing compared to what I saw in this film.
The first 30 minutes are actually what I think smoking weed for the first time would be like. A trip unlike any other.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and that's what they're trying to do for themselves, right? This was the golden era.
Yeah.
No rules, no regulations.
And it showed. And
You win some, lose some. Dinky.
Can I ask you about one scene that literally had me gasping for air
Yeah.
in the theater with 4 other middle-aged ladies?
Yeah.
I say other because I am a middle-aged lady.
Yeah.
When they first introduced sound into the process of movie making, just that whole scene where they're trying to get the take.
Yeah, where she's walking in to the college.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great scene. Like gasping for air. That's a good question. I was watching it by myself in my living room.
I don't think I've ever laughed out loud in a theater, especially by myself in like a pretty not packed theater.
Yeah, because that's embarrassing for you.
Yeah.
Especially if they're not digging it.
I couldn't help it. The ladies were laughing. I was laughing.
Well, that's good. You had some.
And Margot Robbie is incredible.
Yeah.
The scene where she first has to cry on command. And you're like, God, that's crazy that, you know, I mean, I know she's a fake actress.
Right.
So, you know, but then you remember, no, wait.
But
a real
she's being
actress
played
is
by a real actress.
You're like, wait a minute. She's actually is great.
Yeah.
I got tricked by a movie about making movies.
Oh, I kept thinking about that.
Yeah.
That's what the whole movie's a trip, man.
Yeah, it is.
That, you've got Brad Pitt. Somehow seems like he's still 30.
Brad Pitt's cool.
And they're both,
I know, but I don't like Brad Pitt though.
What did he do?
I think he abused Angelina Jolie.
Crap.
And or their children.
Well, there goes my next 30 minutes of what I was going to talk about.
Well, we only have 3, so we've got a little more.
Yeah, movie's great. I do like that the movie is. Well, I don't want to spoil the ending.
I think we should.
I'm just gonna say this. So skip forward 15 seconds. I didn't need to see Avatar.
Yeah, it's the weirdest part of the movie.
I started to go. Is this like the next 12 minutes of the movie is like a montage of food coloring? And I got what they were doing,
Yeah.
and it's to have him at the end where he smiles.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Then you get it.
Yeah,
right.
We could have cut the montage out completely and got the same message.
Because I think we understand. Because after all that, it goes back to her saying, him. Mm-hmm. He's like, I want to be remembered.
Yeah.
A part of something big.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see that he was, because Jurassic Park's going to be made.
Right.
And he's like,
Exactly. I don't know. I heard in an interview that that was not supposed to be in the movie, but kind of as a last minute thing, Damien Chazelle was like, I don't know. I think we just need a huge musical montage of the history of cinema. And that's what they did. And you know what? It's a bold choice. I could have done without it, but also by the end of it, I was like, God, isn't life incredible?
I'm just glad that people are making these choices in movies, and I feel bad that it didn't do well at the theater.
Yeah, probably never will be able to again.
I'm part of I didn't go see it,
No, you suck.
but even if I went and saw it and loved it, everyone was like, "Oh, it was kind of critically." It is all over the place.
Yeah.
It's telling a bunch of different stories, but I want people to try something instead of just doing something that they know. Okay, we know these work. Let's keep doing that.
Yeah.
He did something crazy.
And I think too that it is like you have the stuff with the musician, and you have like it's all the dark side of Hollywood. Mm-hmm. Like it's a very kind of cynical look at Hollywood, and then at the end is kind of but look at what it was.
Yeah,
or, look at what it made. Mm-hmm. But it's still like you have all of this angry stuff towards Hollywood throughout the rest of it that you have to reconcile the entertainment versus the kind of abuse of the people making it. Mm-hmm. And it's really good. God, let's go watch a freaking movie, man.
Yeah, I liked it. I would like to see some of the behind the scenes stuff. I forgot Tobey Maguire shows up too.
Yeah.
And he's a little freak. Even that, I'm like, this movie is just, there's so many parts to this.
Yeah.
Like this scene by itself is insane. This is a movie on its own.
Yes.
And then it's just gone. Like, I mean, it's part of the storyline, but you're just like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's great. I wish I lived back then.
Yeah.
It seemed like they treated people really good.
I loved it. And every scene was like, just cranks up the tension. Like he's got to get the camera to set. And then all the cameras are rented. And he has to wait for one of them to get back.
Yeah.
And like the guy dies. It's just every scene mounts to this crazy point, and it's always good to me. Every single scene was satisfying.
And I think there was some. It's such I'd say it's bloated, not in a bad way, but it's a longer
huge,
movie.
yeah.
But there were so many good like little monologues or dialogue, like
Yes.
when the lady's talking to Brad Pitt's character, who we don't like now, about his career.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this in a movie where it's not surrounded by a bunch of other stuff is great. And it's still great here, but I'm like, it's just part of the story.
Yeah.
Like this great monologue that someone's doing.
That's what you.
And there are so many people that have that. Or like the guy, like you said, the trumpet player, that scene where he has to like darken his face. It's just
I just got goosebumps.
so sad. It's so crazy. And then the way he's playing after that, and it's just part of this. It's just there with all this other stuff going on.
Yeah.
around it.
Well, it's kind of the lifespan of everyone in the Hollywood system, where they take the idea of minority figures and capitalize on them, and then they abuse women basically, and and everyone is sort of a victim, but also an enabler and like an abuser themselves. It's all very interesting. There's a lot being said, and also at the end of it, it's like, but it's good.
Yeah.
There's
But we like it.
It's such a weird conversation to be having over a 3-hour comedy movie
That you're making in Hollywood with like some of the biggest stars.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it was cool. I'm glad I saw it. I like it. I think I anytime he puts something out, I'm excited.
Yeah,
I hope he gets to do more. He's kind of like our Paul Thomas Anderson. You're in my use in
Yes,
minds.
yeah.
Everyone else gets PTA.
Yeah, you guys can have
We
it.
can get DC. You
I'll
know what I'm
take
talking
this
about?
And I like that, like even that scene with Brad Pitt and the I can't remember the actress's name.
Yes.
Great acting, great actor, but like all of the ideas aren't
No idea what scene
necessarily
you're talking about.
the one that you're talking about his career. and
Yes. And even the one he has with his wife.
Yes.
It's like my parents couldn't go to the theater.
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
That.
It's all good, and it's all not necessarily new stuff, but I think I said this before. It's the best version of all of this stuff that I've ever seen put to film, put to any medium. It's the best version of these ideas and stories.
Because even when you're watching it, it's just the metatextual thing of there are all these actors on set of this Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
That's what I love about any movie that's about making movies. If it doesn't suck,
Yeah.
okay, let's just remember that part. But it's like when you've got 100 people going to war on screen, but it's about the people making that. You still have that going on.
Yeah.
And all this stuff that's going on when they're doing all the long cuts of all the different scenes that are those are still actors doing that, and you're still doing that behind that there's a layer of everyone that's making this movie. It just seems like I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you write that and like be confident to tell someone I'm gonna make this and it's gonna work.
It's so good. It's so good. I love that movie. I'm gonna get it on the 4K.
Yeah, I'm kind of a snob about stuff like that. So I think if
They don't have it in any store. I have to order it.
I think we could babble on about this forever, but I saw it I saw it on Blu-ray at Target.
Yeah, they don't have
sorry,
the
sorry,
4K.
sorry.
I want the 4K, okay? And I want the special features. And I do want to say, what'd you think of Mando? Did you watch it?
I'm not caught up, but
Okay.
I did watch the Jack Black episode.
Oh, and?
Yeah, I still like the show.
Okay. Bye.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.